the gun. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning.
Nothing Rhynes with Orange and Blue podcast.
What's up, NRW crew? Hey, Broncos country.
What's up?
Nothing Rhynes with Orange and Blue podcast on MHRT Network. I'm your host, Johnny Baki, and with me, as always, to my left over here, right, I guess, whatever, my best friend in the world, Isaiah Henderson. What's up, buddy?
What's good, y'all? What's up, Broncos country? Got a lot to talk about today, so come on in, settle down, grab your beer, because we are about to get to it. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back.
So first of all, as always, how was your week?
Could be better, but you know what? I'm alive, and I'm back here talking to the NRW crew. Good to see Johnny. Haven't seen you in a couple weeks, but this is the longest time I haven't stopped by your house in a while.
Yeah,
but you know, I'll definitely be.
The kids miss you, dude. The kids miss you.
I miss them, so I'll be over there soon. But it was a good week. How was your week, Johnny?
Oh, dude, you know, it's been busy.
Yeah,
you know, I'm still living this. How'd you put it? Sad, stay-at-home dad. The sad life. You know, half my day is spent being a stay-at-home dad. The other half of my days are spent being at work.
But that's an awesome setup, though. I mean, that's an awesome setup.
It is. I mean, I get all the time with my kids. The only downside is that I got to get up early to take care of the kids. Got to be up all day because I can't. You know, the two littlest are too little to be left on their own. You know what I mean? So I got to be up with them, taking care of them, and then I got to go to work. And I get off about midnight, fall asleep maybe by 1 if I'm lucky, just because my brain doesn't shut off that quick. And then I got to get up early again. So I'm looking at 3 to 4 hours if I'm lucky of sleep at night. And so it's a great dynamic. I'm getting a whole lot of more time with my kids. You know, it's coming to the point now where, you know, my children are always asking for mommy. They're asking for daddy a lot. And I'm loving that. But at the same time, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, you know, but it's good. It's good today.
It's fun. You can't replace that with anything.
Mine and your old friends from years ago, Blake and Catherine. You remember Blake and Catherine?
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, they're over here actually downstairs right now.
Are you serious?
With all 4 of their kids. That's
my God.
They're catching up to you there, Mundungus.
Are they watching the podcast?
I'm not sure if they're watching right now or not. I didn't have time to find out. But
I love it.
I did get a little bit in over my head today because I volunteered to watch 3 of their kids by myself with my 2 at home already.
See, that's what happens when you get your head gets big.
Today I was a manny. It was interesting. But it went well. It went well. Anyway, you know what? We're getting off topic. Here's to you. Here's to the NRW crew. Here's to MHRT and Broncos.
Johnny could have went on for hours. Sorry about that, guys. But back to the Broncos.
This is what happens when you take 2 best friends who haven't seen each other in weeks.
In like 2 weeks, and then we were just going. But anyway, back to the Broncos. So
back to the Broncos. So let me just roll through since I came up with our the plan for the day. What we're going to do today, since you know this is the bye week. It's bye week blues. There's no game this weekend, guys.
Profound sadness.
So rather than previewing a game, we're going to talk, of course, a little bit about, what happened on Sunday against the Eagles. We're going to talk about it because, hey, we haven't had a chance to yet. But, of course, we also need to we also, of course, need to be a little bit, moving on, because a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about has been beaten like a dead horse around Broncos country. And to anybody supporting PETA, I don't care. Anyway.
Yeah, and we're going to come in with different perspectives, different opinions on what should be done. Some of you may agree, some of you may not disagree. Let us know in the comments.
Today is about hitting that reset button. Right? It's the bye week. We got 7 games left. It's pretty much, even though we, we're actually on the downslide of the season, the downward slope at this point.
But that's a lot of games though, Johnny.
It's close enough to mid-season that I feel comfortable saying mid-season reset, right? Because it's bye week in the middle of the season. This is where we can hit the reset button. We're going to talk about what that's going to entail, and we're also going to go ahead and we're going to grade the different positions, the different sides of the ball, the coaching, the players. We're going to give them grades.
I don't have a red pen because I mark it all up with red.
Do you have a pen and paper though? Because I want you to be the one keeping track of our grades.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
Are we going to do it again at the end of the season and see if they improve? Yeah, that's what we'll do.
I want
to. Out, squared away.
Yeah, there it is. So, before we get started, guys, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast on MHRT Network. Thank you for joining us tonight. We love all of you, and we cannot wait to talk Broncos with you tonight. We are a fan-led Broncos-based podcast that goes live every Friday night on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, 7654. We are on MHRT Networks, so don't miss the rest of our shows. On Tuesday, you have Broncos Talk with a 6'10" Mexican and Richie Riche. Also, 7654 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Thursdays, the flagship podcast of MHRT Network, the MHRT Podcast, with Mundungus Creevy, the Broncos Wizard, Glenn Mile High Fiber Hauser, Mr. Boggins, and a 6'10" Mexican. Also, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, 7654. Then, do not forget. Okay. Okay.
Don't forget, guys, 2 things. You said it. Don't forget, guys, every Sunday, not this Sunday, but every Sunday that the Broncos have a game, an hour and a half before the stream goes live, we will be doing the pregame show brought to you by MHRT called The Nay Brotherhood. So, also, guys, don't forget, if any of you guys are watching on Twitter, we're still trying to work out some things. So, if you guys are watching on Twitter, you see Johnny's Twitter handle and you see my Twitter handle. And also, you have the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue Twitter handle where you can DM us or mention us on Twitter, your questions from Twitter. So that way we can call your questions out and shout you guys out because we have not forgotten about you guys on Twitter.
I literally have my Twitter feed up on my phone right in front of me. You hit us up on Twitter. We may not be able to pull the comments right up on the screen like we do from the others right now, but we can at least read them right from here. All right? Hit us up on Twitter if you're watching on Twitter.
We haven't forgot about you guys. We love you guys. We're here for you guys. So you just ask us your questions. His Twitter, my Twitter, our Twitter together as a collective.
Nothing _ rhymes _ that is our Twitter handle for the show. So that being said, let's jump into the comments real quick. We got the whiz kid, Landon Clark, in the house. Good evening.
Expecto Patronum.
Yeah, that's right. Nerd. I'm kidding. I am too. Then we got Avatar in the house. What's up, Avatar? We haven't talked to you in a little bit, buddy. What's up, Broncos country?
What's up, Avatar?
And you can't see it because for whatever reason, this converted the hearts to gray and off gray or whatever, but the hearts were actually orange and blue. Ooh. So there you go. Dave Glassman in the house.
Full Glassman.
Dave, full Glassman. You will still be full Glassman. I know it. We will get you back, brother. Saying, looking at that Teddy attempted fumble recovery again. We'll talk more on that. We'll definitely be talking about that today, but I don't want to talk as much into it as I want to, honestly, because
we'll give our takes about it and then we'll move forward because it's one and done.
The OG crew in the house tonight.
OG. Oh, you're talking about me and Johnny. Sorry.
That's right. Mundungus, of course, talking about me becoming, doing this sad thing. Also, while also working a full-time job, he says, "Welcome to my life." Yeah. EJ is in the house. What's up, Broncos country?
What's up, EJ?
And Mundungus said our conversation with each other was better than the Broncos, so let's stick with that. Now, this is a new name. I see a new name in the house.
I do too.
Carolyn Brax.
Carolyn.
Hey, Carolyn, welcome to the show.
Welcome
we always toast our new names.
Cheers. Hey, Carolyn, while you're here,
welcome, Carolyn, to MHRT. Welcome to Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. You are now officially part of the NRW
crew. Don't be afraid to get in those comments, ask questions, make statements. Get in there. We'll put them on screen and we'll answer all the questions you have. So welcome, Carolyn, to the NRW crew.
Steve Stark is in the house. Stark's in the house. Steve Starkovich. Happy Thanksgiving, crew. Unless, of course, you're talking about our buddy here, Richie Riche, who already celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving. So there you go. Yep.
Oh, Canada.
Now, Dave, I don't like it. I don't like it, Dave. He says his glass is empty. Listen, Dave.
Well, go get a beer. And
The
fill it up
only
so you
reason
stop
that glass
complaining.
should be empty is because if it broke, which we all know it fell the other day and it bounced and didn't
Which
break.
gave you a sign to fill it up.
So there you go. It's not you. There should not be empty. At least halfway. Get
Yeah,
me
we're not
something
gonna-
half full.
We're not going to take any of your nonsense, Dave.
Yeah. So all right, jumping into it. Boom. Here we go.
EJ coming in off the top, ready
Off
to
the
go.
top rope. Here he comes.
Gosh,
Tim Patrick
EJ, can we warm
got-
up, please?
Yeah, no, yeah, seriously, we didn't even get a chance. Tim Patrick got paid. He paid money. Thoughts? Look. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. Now, does I may have missed it though.
I got it. I saw it.
You know what he got paid?
3
'Cause
years, 3 years, $34.5 million. 18.
How much guaranteed?
18 or 18.5.
That's a good deal for a guy,
So it's
especially a guy who was an undrafted free agent.
Was that Elway's draft pick?
He wasn't a draft pick.
Undrafted. Did Elway sign him? Elway signed him.
I believe so. Yeah.
Elway always good with those undrafteds.
Yep.
But congratulations to 18.5 guaranteed.
It was beautiful. So look, that's great for the future of the franchise. Tim Patrick is probably, in my opinion, as reliable a wide receiver as you can want. Ever.
He's number one in the NFL. Is reliable.
He is so reliable. He catches them balls, and it's great. Mundungus, real quick, said since we're calling Steve Starkovich Stark, we might as well call him Iron Man. Boss man. We already talked to him about that. And he said he wanted to go. He wanted us to stick with Stark. So we are honoring that member of the NRW crew that way.
Gosh, catch up, boss. We already know this. You're behind. We already came up with it. Let us stick to the nicknames, please.
So
stay in your lane. Just kidding.
Let's see here.
I have this statistic about
Timmy toe tapped into those negotiations. You
I have
dang
a
right he
statistic
did.
for Tim Patrick. Broncos are finalizing a 3-year contract extension with wide receiver Tim Patrick, already done. Patrick, 157.1 passer rating when targeted versus man coverage, first among wide receivers. For anybody that doesn't know, that means that whenever the ball's thrown at him, quarterbacks get completions and great ratings, and he's number one in the NFL versus man coverage. So that means he's the best wide receiver in the NFL when people line up against him and try and play man. So yeah, it was a great signing by the Broncos. Tim Patrick worked his butt off. I forgot the name of our wide receiver coach that everybody gave him credit for Trinity Benson, but I believe we owe him credit for Tim Patrick as well and developing him and coaching him. It was a great signing. It was a great step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And I know what everybody's thinking. And they're saying, what does this mean for Cortland Sutton? Johnny, I'm gonna let you go first.
You know what? He didn't get as much as a lot of people thought he was going to get.
Tim Patrick?
No, I thought a lot of people were predicting that if it came down to them, he was going to garner more money than that. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it doesn't mean a thing.
Thank you.
I'm thinking there is still plenty of cap space because right now, we have, I think, either the biggest available cap space in the NFL. If not, I think we're all right. Sorry, we're number 2.
We're second.
Number 2, and that rolls over to next season. All right, and then
it's more next season too.
I was going to say you're going to take into consideration the broadcast bonus, basically the broadcast bonus, and how much more is going to come out of that. I mean, look, we can keep Court too.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of Zach Azzanni, and we're going to get into this conversation about what needs to be done for the Broncos to get back on track, not only past the bye week, but for next year, just a quick thing, because I think Tyler Columbus definitely put this he put this up there, and he said 5 things the Broncos need to do get on track. Whoever the best ones, we'll talk about on the show. And one thing I wrote was new offensive coordinator, new head coach, offensive minded. And don't be surprised if Zach Azzanni, if he might be either a head coach or offensive coordinator. What he's done with the wide receivers,
maybe.
Trinity Benson, Cortland Sutton got his Pro Bowl under him. Tim Patrick got his big payday. Noah Fant, Alberto, Jerry Jeudy. Don't be surprised if, because of his development and the way he sees his receivers, for example, Tim Patrick is the number 1 receiver against man coverage. Don't be surprised if Zani's the offensive coordinator and he's calling plays that match up for what the defense is doing that fits his wide receivers instead of the wide receivers fitting the offensive scheme. He knows how to. I hope he knows how to scheme that will get his wide receivers open. So that's just just off the top of the head. That's off the top of the head. So don't
Look,
be surprised.
I like Zach Azzani. I like Zach Azzani a lot. I do not think he's going to become an offensive coordinator just like that. And I do not think he's going to be a head coach. Not like that. No, look.
Agreed. We'll disagree.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. When I'm going to go with when this coaching staff gets the coaching staff board gets wiped clean, I truly believe that there are two coaches on the roster, on the coaching staff right now that George Payton might keep. One's Mike Munchak for offensive line, and the other is Zach Azzani.
I disagree. I have to add one more.
Okay.
The running back coach,
Curtis Modkins.
Curtis Modkins.
It's possible
He'd keep him, and you know what? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he kept the D-line coach, Bill Polian.
Bill Kolar.
Bill Kolar. I'm sorry, not Bill Polian. I'm thinking of Bill Kolar. I wouldn't be surprised if
maybe
he kept Bill Kolar, because I mean the way he's done with Draymond Jones, Shelby Harris has stepped up the last few weeks. Jonathan Cooper's having a great game.
Yeah,
I think he falls under the linebacker coach. But
yes,
Mike Purcell got his payday.
Yeah, but Mike Purcell has thus far kind of busted, dude.
That's correct, but he's had a good rotation between Shamar Stephen, Deshaun Williams, and Mike Purcell. So I wouldn't be surprised if he kept Curtis Modkins and Bill Kolar.
Maybe. I could see Curtis Modkins over Bill Kolar.
I can too.
But anyway, let's move on from that. So let's talk real quick. Let's talk the Eagles game. Then we'll talk reset button. Then we'll give our grades, our season, our grades for halfway through the season, basically. So, Eagles game.
I think I brain dumped the Eagles game.
That's fine. I'll talk about it. The Eagles game was painful. Coming off. I mean, and like I said, I don't want to stay on this too long, only because, I mean, I know that pretty much everybody else watching this show before, during, or after, listens to Broncos podcasts all week, just like I do, and this has been beaten. There's about an inch of its life.
Yeah, there's 20 of them before we come.
At the same time, I would be remiss if I didn't get to give my opinions on it, because hey, this is my show. I'm just kidding, sort of. So, the Eagles game was very painful, especially coming off the dominance that we saw from the Broncos against a Super Bowl contender in the Dallas Cowboys the week before.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles game, I honestly, I'm going to say it right now. This is how I'm going to start it out. The Broncos did exactly what I said last week they needed not to do. They fell into a trap game. Mm-hmm. They went into it with the motivation and the excitement of the victory and the dominance they displayed in Dallas, thinking, man, look at the Eagles, man, they ain't nothing. And they got surprised.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. That is truly what it comes down to. Most of all, they fell into the trap of thinking that this was a shoo-in, and
there's not much to say. I mean, we got beat offensive, defense,
offensively, defensively, special teams.
But I mean, Dave brings up a good point. We were still in it before the fumble and the missed tackle, and we were I think it was 20-13. We were driving, getting ready to score. And, the fumble happened, which Melvin Gordon always does in the red zone when he gets down there. Not always, but he fumbles more than – on our team, he fumbles in the red zone more than any other running back that we've had. Philip Lindsay, Javonte Williams, Royce Freeman. And it's just unfortunate. Johnny, take this over.
It was painful to watch. Plain and simple, it was painful to watch, and – it just felt like we were not firing on all cylinders. Now, we finally got to see what it would look like without Pat Shurmur calling the offense. We finally got to see that because everybody's been wanting it. Well, now we saw what it looks like when he's not. I mean, I don't see him as the long-term answer at offensive coordinator by any means, but you throw Mike Shula in there, and I mean, whether or not he is the son of legendary Don Shula or not, he did not call a good game. In fact, earlier this week on Broncos Country Tonight, I believe it was Monday night's show, they always have quarterback guru Tim Jenkins of at Jenkins Elite on Broncos Country Tonight with Ben Albright and Ryan Edwards. And he literally said that he was watching the the play calling and wondering how in the world, like what in the world was going on with that play calling. It it made no sense whatsoever. It was some of the worst play calling he's ever seen. He even equated it to play calling for youth football. I mean, Pop Warner play calling, and it obviously didn't work out. All right, so Shurmur should be back following the bye week, and I'm not saying I'm terribly excited to see Pat Shurmur come back, because he's still Pat Shurmur to me, and he still is not who I want to see leading the offense of my team. But right now, it seems to me he's the best we've got, and it's who we got to ride with. So that definitely had an effect. As far as the rest of the game goes, there was a lot of penalty mistakes. There was just a lot of blown opportunities. We ran the ball. We kept on running the ball the way we were supposed to. Isaiah's back. Hi, buddy.
What's up? Sorry about that. The wife called.
Oh, well, yeah, that's way more important.
Yeah, so I had to take that call, but I'm back, guys.
Anyway, so there was a lot of blown opportunities. We ran the ball. We ran the ball, and we got to see some other.
Stop the run game. Second half, we stopped running the ball.
Yeah, again, it happened again, and this time we can't blame Pat Shurmur for it. We can
for not running the ball. He
had COVID. It was Mike Shula calling the play.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm used to blaming Pat Shurmur.
Wow, bro. See, you really did do a brain dump, didn't you?
I told you I really did do a brain dump. Yeah, for some reason, Mike Shula did the same thing Pat Shurmur does and stopped running the ball. They could not stop the duo between Williams and Gordon, and we stopped running the ball. We stopped running the ball for whatever the case may be. We didn't target. Tight ends had a hell of a game. Excuse me. Didn't target our receivers. I don't know if they dropped to a zone. I also know why. Based off all 22 footage and some replays, for some reason, whatever the case may be, Teddy Bridgewater was missing him, and since he's got back from that concussion, he's holding the ball too long. Now, I saw a statistic that Benjamin Albright posted. I think it said we give the third or fifth most time for any quarterback in the league. So our offensive line is legit. They're legit. Between the run game, the time we give.
We have the fifth most time to throw the ball, but he also has the third most sacks taken. That means
you take that statistic. Who is that? Is that the O-line or is that the quarterback?
That's Bridgewater. That's him holding the ball too long. Plain and simple. Because that O-line can only hold for so long, dude. I mean, you can only
holding calls get thrown.
Yeah, you can only hold them back. You can only hold back the tide of a defensive line for so long, dude. They're strong.
You're trained.
Offensive line guys are big and strong. So are defensive line guys. Yeah, eventually someone's going to bend, someone's going to break, and and the play's going to change. They give him the fifth most time to throw. That's on all 22. That's next gen stats. NFL next gen stats is calling that fifth most time in the NFL to throw the ball. But he also has the third highest sack percentage.
Well, the offensive line,
he's holding the ball too long.
Is trained and practiced to create that pocket.
Yeah.
Once you start running
what's up, fellas? I'm at Fort Huachuca. Wow, dude, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Huachuca. Yeah, hey, I'm glad to see you, KB82. Avatar also says we need to see more of Aaron Patrick. I like him so far.
I'd like to see him play more, and Stephen Weatherly's done a great job of pressure. But I think if I'm correct, I think Stephen Weatherly's on a 1-year contract. If correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. If Stephen Weatherly is, Aaron Patrick is a rookie, I believe, right? Or has he been in the league for a while? I'm not 100% sure.
I can't remember, honestly. I cannot remember. I'll have to look him up.
I thought we signed him undrafted. I'm not 100% sure, but if that's the case, if rookie is his first or second year, we should definitely get him more time because him and Jonathan. I mean, maybe Jonathan Cooper's doing well. Bradley Chubb's supposed to come back. We just don't know. But it's good. That's a good problem to have because we have a lot of weapons.
He brought up Stephen Weatherly, so Rich had to say the Angry Aviator. That's it. Rich came up with that name for him because of those goggles he wears, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. Richie said it. Patrick is a rookie.
Okay, so yeah, there it is. Yeah, he confirmed it. I couldn't remember. But Patrick is a rookie.
So I mean, free agent. So he's in a position where we have depth. Malik Reed, Jonathan Cooper, Stephen Weatherly, Aaron Patrick, Bradley Chubb when he comes back. We've got depth off the edge,
off the nose. I want to see us go back to the pass rushing duo that we saw against the Cowboys. I like
Stephen Weatherly and Jonathan Cooper.
Stephen Weatherly and Jonathan Cooper.
Okay.
Stephen Weatherly and Jonathan Cooper, they were tearing it up.
But they were also down their tackles, though.
Maybe, but the pressure that they were putting on the quarterback.
Yes, but they were down their tackles. So the question is, Johnny, are you moving on from Bradley Chubb?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
no.
So I saw a lot of people say
until we see him come back, that's what I'd like to see.
I want it because I think Bradley Chubb is feeling the pressure. Number one, Von Miller's gone. You're the guy. Number two, he saw, hey, if you keep getting injured, George Payton ain't got no problem trading you. Von Miller's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, snap.
Von Miller's a Hall of Famer who will retire a Bronco. But George Payton saying, hey, I'm looking at the future of the Broncos. If you're injury prone and you're not producing and we got these young guys that will produce, I have no problem getting drafted.
Look, I'm not. I can't fault. You can't fault him for the injuries. That's part of football.
Yeah.
But the point is, we need to see a lot of production out of him when he comes back.
Personally, you can't fault him. Professionally, it's a business.
Yeah,
it's a business. You can't fault someone. You can't fault someone who has a bunch of problems at home. A bunch of funerals to go to. Always something going on. You can't fault him for that. That's life. But professionally, when you become a liability to the team or to the workforce or the workplace, unfortunately, that's the way it is. And I pray Bradley Chubb does not happen. But we've got a lot of depth at edge. We've got a lot of people competing for each other and competing against each other. I think that's changed since Von Miller's left. I think since Von Miller's gone, now they're competing against each other in a good way. So everybody's fighting for that position. Everybody's fighting for that spot.
By the way, I'm sorry. I'm going to take us out of our Broncos talk right now to ask you a question. The koozie that you stole from my man cave to take home with you wouldn't happen to be my only Super Bowl 50 champions koozie, would it?
Does it say Super Bowl 50 on it?
It would say Super Bowl 50 champions on it, yes.
Then no. Because it says Super Bowl 50. Yeah, I didn't know.
You bring that one back, I will give you one of the ones with just the logo and the name.
Johnny, I'm never coming back over there, so it's not an issue. No, wait. I gave you shoes. I can keep this one.
Oh, bro.
Thank you.
Since you put it there. Man.
So I bought shoes years ago, my freshman year in college, and just never worn them. And I accidentally left them at Johnny's house, and he wore them one time, and he loved them. And I don't wear them. And they were brand new, like worn once or twice, and I just gave them to Johnny. So we traded shoes for a Super Bowl 50 koozie. So cheers, NRW crew.
USOB.
It tastes so much better than Super Bowl 50 koozie.
Oh, I know it does. That's why I missed it.
That's why I took it.
No, thief. Anyway. Stop, thief.
Aaron Patrick is year 2. He's technically year 2.
Okay, yeah, technically, I guess. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We got him from the Jags. I forgot about that. Thank you, Rich. Rich and Avatar. Rich being our fact checker right now in the comments section.
Avatar.
Love it. Appreciate it. And
Avatar.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. All right, so let's get back into the Eagles game so we can move on.
Last thing.
No. I want to point out before that last thing that I don't want to beat too long. I want to talk about Melvin Gordon. A lot of people have been saying everybody forgets that he's the one that fumbled the ball. Yeah, but you also all forgot, even though he fumbled the ball, that he scored twice. I mean, it was impressive. The only 2 scores on the board for the Broncos at that point were his.
That's true.
That was impressive. Look, here's the thing. I cannot stand, and I haven't been able to ever since we got Melvin Gordon. That's why I've been beating the drum for him this to be his last season in Denver. He does fumble. And I know everybody does. And this is this was the first one for him, I believe, this season. I really do.
Second.
I think this was. No, I thought the only other one we had by the running backs was by Javonte Williams. But either way,
let us know in the comments, guys.
They do happen. It's part of the game. But the problem that I have with Melvin Gordon, and Mundungus and I were talking about this on the phone last week.
Who's Mundungus?
The boss. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we were talking about this on the phone the other day. And, it seems to me that even though I can definitely say, hey, fumbles happen.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Rich. That's right.
I knew it was the second one.
It was the second. You're right. But even though the fumbles happen, it seems like Gordon fumbles at the most inopportune times possible. It's like the one moment that you're like, you cannot fumble now. Look, like you would want the coach to grab him by the face mask and be like, look, you hold on to that ball. You do not let it go at this time. Do you understand me? You know, that's the moment that he fumbles. 4th and 1, and we're driving down the field. And he gets the first. He got the first down. And then fumbles it. That's when I have a problem.
So he's a no, I'm not gonna say that. We'll get to that later. He can score.
Yeah,
but
he can score. But he fumbles.
He scores more than he fumbles, which you're supposed to. And Steve Stark already came in with the grades.
Oh, look at that. Look at Stark. Here he comes.
What do you guys think in the comments? Do we keep Melvin Gordon? I mean, from the Dallas game, from part of the Eagles game, that duo is
that duo is a phenomenal duo.
But I don't think we re-signed Gordon because, I think we can afford it. But I think that's just we just move on. Do we draft another running back? Do we pick one up in free agency? Do we let Mike Boone do it, even though Mike Boone hasn't played at all?
I think it's too soon to tell. I
agree with that situation.
We have 7 games left, and I think that the coaches will look at what he puts together the rest of the season, the size of the contract he garners, which is large, and then of course also naturally also take into consideration what the other running backs put together the final 7 games.
Demaria Crockett, thank you, Avatar. Thank you, Richie.
Yeah,
Demaria Crockett's great. Richie says,
and then they make the decision on whether to let him go or not.
Crockett, actually, I forgot about Crockett. Mundungus disagrees.
Yeah, he says, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah,
Mundungus says
absolutely keep Gordon. Williams has struggled in the red zone.
Yeah,
that is true. That's so weird.
Now that's something that I think he can fix given another offseason.
That's okay. He will with more experience, but I think that's okay. I'm gonna back up Mundungus here because I like the duo. So I'm gonna back you up, Mundungus. In the open field, Javonte Williams is unstoppable. In the red zone, Melvin Gordon's vision is so much better. That comes with experience.
And that comes with experience, which Javonte Williams will get.
You know what, Mundungus? I do not. And I agree with you, EJ, as well. EJ just said, I agree with that, and I was thinking as well. I have no problem sticking with the Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams duo. I have no problem with that. Also, Richie, I also don't have a problem with Javonte Williams, Demaria Crockett duo, except Javonte Williams and Demaria Crockett are kind of similar. I like the quickness.
But of course, Javonte Williams, Pookie is way more is a lot more
agile and elusive
than
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying for Javonte Williams, he's more power. He can be elusive, but I like the idea of Melvin Gordon being elusive and his vision being great, and Javonte Williams being a power, but he can also be both. I think Demaria Crockett and Javonte Williams are a little bit too similar, and you can play them both the same way. I like the idea of Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, where the defense has to adjust depending on who's in, but both can average 4, 5, 6 yards per carry. So I agree with Richie and Mundungus.
And Mundungus, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think he's gone. I honestly don't. I think we're waiting. It's a waiting game to find out.
Pull up EJ's comment at 18:37:21.
That one?
So he says, try to re-sign Gordon, but not for the contract he got the first time.
Only problem with that is that he was offered less before and would refuse to take less.
But that was based off his it's based off his production. So the question is, who has leverage when coming to the negotiating table? Did the Broncos? Like you said, Johnny, we have to wait. So he can score. Game. He can score, and he has 2 fumbles on the season. But he can score.
KB82 says Javonte Williams and Mike Boone if he can stay healthy.
That's always been the question, but Mike Boone can't stay healthy at all.
I mean, we'll see. Who knows? Next season could be a whole other thing.
Yes, but if they let go of the Colorado kid because of health reasons and scheme fit, I mean, will they do the same for Mike Boone? Will they give it a chance? But then again, if we stick with Javonte Williams and Mike Boone gets injured again, or Javonte Williams, knock on wood, Demaria Crockett's in the back. So I think that's definitely plausible. I think that's okay because we do have good depth and good running backs. Damari Crockett can pick up yards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So moving on from that discussion, let's talk about the fumble and the Teddy Bridgewater, decision heard around the world.
Yeah.
So we're not going to stay too long on this, but I want to see what everybody thinks in the comments. Teddy Bridgewater has majorly lost the support of Broncos country as a result of a single play.
Mac Jones didn't help either.
No, he didn't. But but that's exactly what we expected Teddy Bridgewater to do that he didn't do.
So your position is
it's not like Mac Jones was like, oh, look, everybody's all over Teddy Bridgewater from a few days ago or yesterday not making this play, so I better make it. That's not at all what happened.
No, but that actually, I think that may have been a consideration. I'm not going to say that was not a consideration.
Okay, you know what?
But in the midst of the game, he's not thinking about Teddy Bridgewater.
Right. I'm going to make a point real quick. This is from my point of view. I talked to Mundungus about this, and he thought that's actually a pretty good point. Think about how fast a football play develops.
Quick.
Okay. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, yes, has injury history. He had one of the most devastating and destructive injuries in the history of the NFL done to his knee. And he came back from it amazingly, almost miraculously, but here's the thing. When you think about all, everybody's like talking about, oh, well, he was probably thinking, I don't want to get hurt. That hurt the team. Or, I'm trying to prevent myself from getting hurt. I honestly don't think he had time to think about that.
No,
that play happened so quick. And at first he thought, just like the crowd thought, that Melvin Gordon had the first down and the play was going to be over. And then all of a sudden it bust through Darius Slay. He got the ball. And Darius Slay comes at him quick. He doesn't have enough time. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. You have to formulate a thought. And there's not enough time there, in my opinion, to be sitting there going, I really should stay out of his way because I don't want to get hurt. He just he did not want to get hit. He wanted to be out of the way, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with trying to preserve his health or anything. He just didn't want to take the hit.
I think yes and no. I think he didn't want to get hit because he didn't want to get injured and he's not used to getting hit.
But the point is, I'm saying he didn't take the time to sit there and contemplate the ramifications of not making that hit.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
There's not enough time for that.
Yes, he did.
In my opinion.
I think when Darius Slay ran through him, the synapses in the brain moves fast. We can't even time it. I think in that time, he considered making a tackle.
Decision making is 0.3 of a second, Isaiah, by the way. And so, on average, a human decision is made in 0.3 of a second.
Yes, and I believe he was able to a cognitive decision. Now, what I will say, if he's the declared leader of the team, or one of the leaders of the team, a captain of the team.
So here, this is Rich literally says what I was saying. He played scared.
Yes.
He played scared. All right. And he was scared the whole time. I'm not saying just that play. The problem I have with that, look, I like Teddy as a person. Mm-hmm. I like a lot about him. Now, I've never, ever thought he was the long-term answer for Denver. Agreed. I was excited when we saw him winning some games because we in Broncos country hadn't seen that in a long time. Mm-hmm. So it was exciting to see. I never was banging the table going, yeah, Teddy for the future. No.
Hey, Steve, I see your question on the O-line, and I see your new comment, so we haven't forgot about you.
We have not forgot. We'll bring it up here in a minute, I promise. My point is, I've never been banging the table for him. I was always a big Drew Lock supporter, but as a Broncos fan, when they made the call to put Teddy in, I supported it because I'm a Broncos fan first.
And we talked about this.
And I'm not, and this is not me. This is not me throwing it out there. This is not me saying, all right, now it's time for Drew, as the rest of the Twitterverse and the rest of Broncos country is. Well, fine, you do that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whoever they choose to keep on the field or put on the field, I'll support it because I'm a Broncos fan.
I'm right there with you. And we talked about it on this show. And I said I've become a Teddy fan. I like Teddy. I said that. Me and Johnny both agreed we're on the July train, but we both agreed, hey, Teddy's the guy. I'm not going to sit here and root against the Broncos because I don't like the quarterback. But I will say this, Johnny, on that play. You're coming off beating the arguably the number one offense in the NFL. You're coming into the Eagles, which is a very winnable game before the bye week. You've got no respect from national media. You got no respect from the NFL. When we beat the Cowboys, all they talked about was what's wrong with the Cowboys and not what's right with the Broncos. You've got no respect. You've gotten rid of Von Miller. You traded Von Miller. At this point in time, you're the captain of this team. You're down 7, and you're driving in a very winnable game.
Right.
An unfortunate incident happens. Melvin Gordon fumbles. That sucks.
It does.
But I don't care who you are. You put on pads. Why do you put on pads? Because you may get hit. Because contact may happen. But
it's football.
Exactly. And you're getting paid for football. You're getting paid to be in a contact sport. You're getting paid to be a captain.
Another point Tim Jenkins made, the reason that this play has become so volatile across the NFL, not just in Broncos country, across the NFL, is because everybody, the fans, the analysts, the players, the former players, the coaches, everybody's on the same page with how it looked.
Yes.
Like usually they're split down the middle and they're in two different camps and they can't meet in the middle.
My thing is
this time everybody's on the same side saying the same thing.
Did you see the Eagles defender coming, Teddy Bridgewater? Teddy Bridgewater saw that. You're more than welcome to pull a K-Jack and dive at his legs. If he jumps over you, so be it.
So
but
be it.
One, you put an effort. 2, you slowed him down because the jumping over
quarterbacks are not meant to hit people. That's not part of their job description.
But they're meant
they're on the team,
to be leaders of the team.
A punter. I've seen punters, kickers. We saw it with Matt Jones on Monday night.
What was that? Pat McAfee laid the hell out of what's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember exactly. But
laid him out. Pat McAfee laid him out.
Punters, kickers. That's not in their job description either. But when they get blocked punts and blocked kicks, guess who's trying to make a play? The punter and the kicker. They're the last line of defense. Peyton Manning put his health on the line. John Elway put his health on the line to win a game.
Yeah, and Mundanez brings up a good point.
You step out of the way and you give a little shoulder shrug in his general direction. You show me you didn't care to win that game.
His arm stayed in the same place. He didn't reach out. And Mundanez brings up a good point. Holiday, thank you, KB82. Mundanez says it's not that he didn't tackle.
I'm not calling for him to tackle.
It's that he didn't even try. Nobody was expecting him to be Brian Dawkins, grab him and body slam him. Nobody's expecting that. But at least try and slow him down.
Get in his way. Get in his way. Make him cut one way or the other. Because when he cuts, he slows down. You slow him down for 0.3 of a second. Tim Patrick, Melvin Gordon, a bunch of the other dudes that were trying to make that play to catch up to him would have caught up to him and made that tackle. Then our defense would be on the field trying to stop them, at least giving us a chance to keep them out of the end zone. But no, you just with your shoulder in his general direction, and then he runs the whole way down the field.
And it's hard.
Painful. And it was painful.
And I'm
going
to put it this way. I'm going to put it this way. Me personally, Johnny, you can relate to this. As a pastor, I cannot go up and preach certain things in the Bible if I don't do them myself. As a leader of the quarterback,
you cannot preach what you don't live.
Exactly. As a leader of the quarterback, you can't say, "All right, guys, let's give it everything."
You are undeniably, as the quarterback, undeniably the leader of this team. Mm-hmm. You don't have that's what you do. They threw a C on your chest. In your first year, they put a C on your chest because you were their leader.
They take their jobs on the line.
And look,
the teams put
I'll
their
give it
faith
to
in
him.
you.
I'm about ready to get over this and just move on because we need to. But look, he may have fessed up after he got called out on it. By the way,
yeah, he had to answer twice. The first time he said he tried to force him inside.
Then Coach Fangio forced the entire team to watch it in front of him, and he realized how bad it was. And then he came out and said, "Look, I messed up," and blah blah blah, and that's great. But the point is, it never should have happened.
Yeah.
Something like that, you are the undisputed leader of this team. You should be making more effort than anyone else. And if you get hurt, so be it. Because you did it for your team.
Unless he comes out and blows out the Chargers, I don't see the fans coming back. And the reason why is because quarterback competition.
Yeah.
People have their divisions of who they want. You win, you lose, you come out, you have momentum, and then you do that.
Yeah.
And Mundungus said Drew's not a better quarterback than Teddy.
No, Drew is not a better quarterback than
He
Teddy.
said,
I can fully admit that.
Teddy doesn't like to go deep and turns it over on downs. Lock YOLO's balls and it turns it over. Either way,
YOLO.
we'd still be exactly the same spot as now. Now, Mundungus, part of that is argumentative.
After this season we've had, I kind of agree with him.
No, certain parts I agree with, certain parts I don't. That's just me. Some of that is argumentative, meaning it's not definitive, but it can be argued.
And KB82.
Whether it's same spot, I was always
one of the
legs.
legs.
Exactly. You may not tackle him or slow
Trip
him
up,
but you
slow
can do
down
something. So it's argumentative. So in certain aspects, the reason why I would slightly disagree, and I'm not counting that. What was that game that Teddy Bridgewater got knocked out and Drew came in? And unfortunately, the last game pick or whatever. The game where everybody said he was set up, it was just crap. Besides that, in the preseason, we saw slight improvement. We heard about improvement, and we've heard this 1,000 times. So
yeah.
I'm just go ahead and repeat it.
Yeah.
And people are calling for it because people are saying, at what point in time are you going to see what you got? And I hate repeating it.
Look, we've kind of seen it.
I feel this sentiment, and we're gonna take this as a great transition. Baltimore, thank you. We're gonna take this as a great transition. Dave disagrees with you, Mundungus, but we're gonna take this as a transition into what we need to do to come back from the bye week. And you may agree, you may disagree. It's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna say it. Drew Lock had success against the Chargers last year. That was a great game. That's probably the greatest game of his career. So far.
It was a beautiful. In fact, you look at it, it's the only comeback after halftime of Vic Fangio's head coaching career.
Yes, was Drew Lock at quarterback. But what I will say is this: people called him check down Teddy. Now I saw some of it. Also saw him throw some deep ends, some nice throws to Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, whatever the case may be.
A few.
This was the game. This was the game where I really got my blood was boiling at the checkdowns. I never really got the sentiment that everybody was saying, "Oh, check down Teddy, I'm tired of 3-4." This game, I was just pissed. I was just pissed at how many times he checked down. And when you only target Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton, 6'5", 6'4" receivers for a total of, I think, 5 targets together. You've got the 5th most time given by an offensive line. That's when I'm like, you know what? Just me personally, you may disagree. I respect your opinion, but I'm like, you know what? Unless he comes out and blows out the Chargers, and the first step I would make is, you know what, Drew? It's yours.
Maybe, but I don't. But it's not going to happen.
That's what I said. It's not going to happen. That's
okay. So here we go. We are now on the
Chargers fear Drew.
We're now on the part of the show we talked about. This is the part where we go because we still have to do our grades. Reset button.
Shadow. What up, Shadow?
Shadow's in the house. What's up, Shadow? Shadow's on. He says, sorry, I'm jumping in extremely late, but oh boy, has this been a tough week. You ain't lying, brother. Look.
Richie makes a good comment.
We are in week 11. It's the bye week. We don't have a game this week. Nothing. It's going to be different. But you know what? We need this week to hit what I already said when we titled this episode, hit the reset button.
Yeah.
And what that is, look, you know, think about it back to when we were kids, you know, or well, most of us. Isaiah is still a baby. I doubt he remembers this. Back in the old days,
yep, I was there
on video game systems. There was a reset button.
Yep.
That's not there anymore. It's you have power and you have eject. But back then, you had the reset button. And whenever your game froze up, especially on Super Nintendo, the NES, even the Sega Genesis, when the game froze up, and it would all of a sudden just like freeze on the screen and start jerking around and like it'd pixelate and do all these crazy things. The only thing you could do was hit that reset button.
No, Johnny, that was not the only thing. You turn that game off, you pick it up.
You're right. But I'm saying that's what that's what I'm saying is the reset button was there for that. Okay.
Yes. The
Broncos have hit that wall. Okay, we've hit that wall. The screen is frozen. It's pixelating. We're struggling. It's stuck. It's stuck. We've been stuck in the same freaking screen for weeks, except for the Dallas game. But that was just like, it was just a fluke. It almost looks like it was just a fluke. I hate to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to believe it was a fluke. But
it's true.
But and maybe it's not a fluke. Maybe we are that talented, but the problem is we're inconsistent.
Oh, no, we are talented.
We are talented. We are stuck at that screen, and we have got it. And there we go. Everybody's throwing them in there. SNES, Genesis, NES, Nintendo.
We have the
N64.
We have one of the
best that reset button. Guess what? We're stuck on that screen. Pixelated. It's stuck. Hit the reset button. It's time. We need to hit the reset button. So what to you, Isaiah, does that mean in the bye week? What do they need to do this week with an extra week to, 1, relax, 2, practice, and 3, watch tape? What do they need to do leading into week 12 against the Chargers to hit that reset button?
I'm glad you asked. And I want you to bring up Richie's 2 comments. The
Richie's 2
same concept. 1851.
Yes.
Because I'm going to go into it.
Okay.
The first one, it says, same concept. No. There's one below it. 1850-43.
Sorry.
That's my fault. 1850, Richie. I don't know what your position has been on the quarterback the whole season, but I'm going to pull you up and use you as a reference. He says, there are also elements of Locke's game which are superior to Teddy's. A faster arm can help fire balls into tighter windows in the red zone, and then pull up that other one from Richie where he continued it.
Same concept.
Same concept on the middle of the field throws. Getting the ball there faster helps avoid injuries to the wide receivers. I'm gonna go on a dialogue.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
In 2019, one of the statistics that the Broncos struggled with greatly was red zone and third downs. In 2020, no matter what people say about that year, the Broncos improved. The Broncos improved on red zone. Johnny just checked out, so I'm going to continue this. The Broncos improved in 2020.
I did that on purpose. You're going into a full-on spiel, so I'm making you the center of attention. Here we go.
Okay, Johnny's being a weirdo. So in 2020, the Broncos improved on red zone and third down percentage, meaning Drew Lock, while he was in, improved on third down and red zone percentage. Richard brings up a good point in that. They brought Teddy Bridgewater in, and I was talking to Johnny about this earlier this week. They had to choose which one is more important: third down efficiency or red zone efficiency with Drew, or turnovers with Teddy. Teddy didn't turn the ball over as much, but Drew's better on third down and red zone. Now, the one thing they said in the quarterback competition was they wanted to see Drew turn the ball over less, and they wanted to see Teddy Bridgewater score more on third down, get third down efficiency improve and red zone efficiency improve, score touchdowns. Now, they chose Teddy, but 10 games into the season, we suck on third downs, we suck in the red zone. So my question to you is, if you chose Teddy, hoping that it's easier to improve on third down efficiency and red zone efficiency, and that has not happened, why is he still the starting quarterback? Now, it seemed
that's an excellent question.
It seemed for a minute that Drew Lock in the preseason, through training, through what the coaches said, through what the GM said, Drew Lock had improved. We know he was good. He was better in third down and red zone, and we know he needs to improve on turnovers. So if he has made an improvement, and it shows so far that Teddy has not improved in where they asked him to, which is third down and red zone, what is holding it up? We know what's holding it up. Look, but my thing is, to answer Johnny's question and to end my dialogue, the first thing we need to do is, I'm telling you, make a quarterback change. You're lacking in third down and red zone where we need it the most.
That's yours.
Put the quarterback in that is the best at it.
I don't see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and caveat, or I'm going to go ahead and talk about yours real quick. I don't see it happening. It's not going to. I mean, Vic Fangio, if I'm going to go on my spiel, if that's okay, because yours is actually what I was going to comment to yours is actually an excellent caveat to what mine is. So basically, what I think needs to happen for this reset, 100%. Our coaches are old man coaches, because that's what they are. You say what you want. You say, whatever. These dudes are old dudes. All right. And they are stubborn. They're stubborn. That's what they are. There's so much evidence that things need to change. That play calling needs to change. That style needs to change. All of it. Every bit of it. Pat Shurmur's offense needed to change. The play calling needed to change. Vic Fangio running us against the Philadelphia Eagles, against a speedy team like that for almost an entire half in man coverage when they were when Devontae Smith was blowing us out of the water with his speed because we were in man coverage, needs to change. But for whatever reason, these old guys, they want to stay stuck in their ways. They want to be that guy that's just like, I'm going to do what I want to do because it's my way and I'm going to do it that way. That's what they're doing. That needs to change. That needs to be the reset button. These guys need to sit down. Okay, and again, it goes back to what Isaiah was saying. He wants that quarterback change. It's not going to happen because these old guys are stubborn. They're stubborn. Now, even if I'm bringing you up, even if Isaiah is completely right about that, they would not do it. Okay, and Mundungus thinks, the fact that there actually wasn't even truly a quarterback competition. We all know that they had Teddy. That Teddy was the winner of that before.
I'm saying that now.
It happened.
Quick change.
Okay.
Bring up Steve's comment because Steve, we owe you an apology. We said we're going to bring it up. I'm glad you reminded us.
Thank right. You, which one?
Thank
what
you,
time?
Steve. Just put up O-line, the newest one. Because I know we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Steve, to answer your question earlier, yeah, I think with the addition of Quinn Miners, our interior O-line, I think it's okay. I love Quinn. I think our only weak link is right tackle, which you brought up, Steve. Once again, sorry, but thank you for commenting again. Thank you.
Dalton Reisner has not looked like what we expected.
You know what? Dalton Reisner has been average. He hasn't killed us, but he hasn't helped us. He's average. We don't want average, but I'm going to say I'm okay with that. He's not getting 1,000 holding penalties, but he's also not standing up. Standing out like he did his rookie year. He's kind of just mellowed down to the middle. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
You're a monster.
Mundungus says center is the weakness.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lloyd Cushenberry.
He's done better.
No.
You don't think so?
Go back, watch y'all 22. No, he's not. Okay, he looks exactly like he did in 2020, and it's falling back.
To finish, Steve's question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm George, I'm not gonna say Vic Fangio because he may not be the coach next year. But take that back.
Anyway, let me finish mine. Let me just finish mine real quick.
I gotta finish Steve's.
You're killing me here.
Going into the next week. How do we think Cam Fleming did? Do we think Bobby Massey's coming back? If you're Queasy on Cam Fleming and Bobby Massey's not coming back, honestly, Calvin Anderson did great at left tackle. He's better at left tackle than right tackle. I'd see between Calvin Anderson and actually, you know what? Let me take that back. I'd put Calvin Anderson at right tackle because if he can show for the rest of the season, let me finish, that he can do it and he can do well. That is his spot next season.
You're right, but not this season because changing from the left side to the right side on the offensive line is like trying to wipe your butt with your non-dominant hand. Yes, it's very difficult.
But this is his first time playing right tackle. That's my thing.
No, it's not. But he didn't look that good when he did last time.
He's played it before. He knows Mike Munchak's schemes. He knows the offense.
If that's the point, if that's what you want, you have to be training that way the whole time, getting him ready for it.
He's hungry for a starting, but he's a professional NFL player. You better learn how to adapt and overcome, as we say in the Army. But what I'm saying is, if for right tackle, me personally, I'd put Calvin Anderson at right tackle and say, hey, this can be, if I'm George Pittman saying, hey, you rock this, this can be your spot next year. Bobby Massey's on a 1-year deal. I think Cam Fleming's on a 1-year deal. We can draft a right tackle, but maybe he needs time to learn. This could be Calvin Anderson's position if he really wanted to be. And I'd say that. So O-line, I think Richie comes up with a grade. He says Reisner in motion, a solid B. Reisner and Sherman's offensive style, a D. I wouldn't say that's Reisner. I'd say that's Sherman because his rookie year he played with Scangarello and he had a great rookie season.
He did have a great rookie season. Now, let me finish my spiel. Let me finish my spiel on the reset. It's going to come down to the old guys not being so stubborn. They need to look at what's been not working and change it. But, of course, what we've seen so far, they're not willing to change anything because they want their way to work. The problem is, obviously, your way doesn't always work. That's the problem. So, moving on. It's time to give some grades for this team.
I'm gonna answer Shadow Jackers real quick because it's quick.
Go ahead.
He says,
Go right ahead.
He says, I know it's hella early for this query, but who are we drafting first round, quarterback or right tackle? This goes to what I said to Tyler Columbus's question. I said, hire an offensive-minded head coach. If Peyton likes Drew, you start Drew for the last year of his contract.
It's not happening.
But Johnny, gosh darn it, but you let the offensive-minded head coach pick his quarterback in the draft. So I'd say quarterback. I'd say quarterback over right tackle because we have Calvin Anderson, I think we have some guys that could be the starting right tackle. I'd say quarterback. But I say if you hire an offensive-minded head coach and George Payton says, you know what? I like Drew. This is last year. I want to see if he's got it. But you let the head coach pick his quarterback in the draft. Why? Because Peyton gets his way, but the the head coach also gets his pick, his choice. He's not just left out and George Payton saying, hey, I don't care what you think. Drew locks the quarterback. He's saying, hey, I like Drew. I want to see what he's got, but I'm going to let you pick your quarterback of the future in case he doesn't work out.
Look, I would love to believe that would happen. I really do. I love Drew Lock. You know how much I love Drew Lock. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I believe if George Payton, I said when I said earlier when this coaching staff gets wiped, the board gets wiped clean, that there might be a couple that get held over. I honestly don't believe that would happen either. When George Payton cleans house, the leadership of this team, all of them, are going, and that includes the quarterback.
There's a potential of bringing in someone else, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and drafting a quarterback. That's a potential. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm not throwing anything away. No. I think regardless he drafts a quarterback, whether we bring in Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or we keep the Drew, or we re-sign Teddy, I think he's going to draft a quarterback either way. But the first grade I'm gonna give, since we're going.
No, we're gonna start. I've already got this laid out in my head, so I want you writing them down.
No,
we're gonna start. Johnny? Yes. No, shut it. I've had this laid out in my head for days. All right, we're gonna start with the.
All right, thanks everybody for coming to NRWOB. We're just gonna cut it off while Johnny's.
No, we're not. Anyway,
all right, go.
Offense. Give me your personal grade for the offense as a whole up to this point. In schoolhouse style, so A, B, C, D, F.
Yeah, Johnny.
And you can add pluses and minuses. I don't care.
I don't know what else I was going to use. You know what? I'd say a C plus. I'd say a C plus because our receivers are great. Our offensive line is well. Our running backs are great. Good duo. Teddy Bridgewater is on and off and inconsistent.
Yes.
This year. So Steve said F. Avatar says, but is there a QB in the draft that is worth the first rounder? I don't think so. Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe, but it could be. Could be. There's still, it could be. Who knows?
Avatar says C minus, but I say C plus. I think everyone else around has done their job when they have to. I think we've just been inconsistent with the play calling and with the quarterback play. So I give C plus. Johnny, what's your grade?
My grade for the offense, C. It's a solid C, straight up, and strictly because of inconsistency. Look, there is so much talent on this team currently being wasted. Wasted.
Mm-hmm.
They have the potential to be A plus. They have the potential, but they're wasting it. They're the burnout right now. Right now, they're the burnout student. Okay, they're smoking the Mary J behind the field house, and
how old are you?
Shut up.
What the hell is a field house? What is this, slavery? What is a field house?
The field house? It's where they keep all the football equipment. Jeez, dude.
I don't think they called that in a field house, Johnny?
That's what it was called on our football field. It was the building where they stored all the equipment.
Is that when you turn your cotton after you done picking it for the day? What the hell is a field house? Anyway.
That's what they called it. It's a C. It's a C for me. Solid C.
Okay.
Shut up, Isaiah. That's what it was called, okay? It literally said on it. Longmont Trojans. Field house. It says it right there.
Oh, anyway. Defense?
So now we did offense. Now we're doing defense. Give me a full-blown grade just for the defense.
Defense.
This is a harder one, in my opinion.
Yes, they've been inconsistent, but there's
But when they're
spots
hitting,
and
they're hitting.
moments. Yes, when they're hitting, and when they're not, they're. They've been.
But I think they've been hitting. But here's the thing: with the defense, I think they hit more than they don't.
Not. Yes, they hit more than they don't.
So I'll go ahead and give mine first. I was going to go with a B.
Okay,
I was going to go with a B.
You're more lenient.
A little bit optimistic on this one.
Yes,
I'm going to give the defense a B. Now, coaching. Now, here's the thing.
Steve said F. Steve, you're giving us all Fs.
No, well, that's coaching. He said coaching F.
No, he said, but earlier he said.
I know he said F for the offense too. I know, but here's the thing. We hit Steve. Steve, you're ahead of me on this. Steve, slow down. Slow down, Steve. You're in the traveling lane. Slow down.
KB82 said C for cotton. So.
Oh boy.
He says B-.
I love it. I love it. C for cotton. LOL. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cotton.
That's right.
House.
Look. I have a look. I am lucky. This is a quick caveat or a quick diversion or whatever. I am lucky. I am lucky to have the best friend in the world in Isaiah, and I love that him and I are we're contrast. We've literally for years we called each other ebony and ivory. Like we go together that way. We were going to start a YouTube black and white. We were going to start a YouTube channel once called Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah, we were. That was so long ago.
Yeah, but you know what? Our ideas were dumb. Looking back, they were so stupid. But the point is, like, I do love that. I love that we can talk like this and that we can make those jokes like you and KB82 just made about the cotton and all that and the field house. Shut up, Isaiah. But the point is, it was called a field house. That's where we stored our pads and all our stuff.
The field house where they stored a lot of stuff, but
whatever. I absolutely love that we have this dynamic, this best friendship. It's the best. I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. It's fun that we can make these jokes and know that that's all they are.
I would trade it. I would trade it for one thing though. In all honesty, I would trade.
You're not getting reparations
and our jokes for a field house.
For a field house. We'll put it in my backyard. We'll put it in the backyard.
And I'm going like, Johnny, I'm going to the field house. They're like, you're going to have guests over. I'm like, I don't think, what year is this? But
anyway, I'm going to the field house. You better get out to that field house. You better get out there right now.
So defense, I say B-. Johnny says B.
I give it a B.
Then, special teams.
No. Yeah, special teams. Sorry. Go ahead. Special teams. Special teams. F.
I give a C.
F.
I think special teams hasn't been that bad. We've had a couple blocked field goals. We haven't had any big returns.
I hear that sound. I hear that sound in my head every single time the special teams are on the field. I swear to God.
F-, D-.
Yeah, dude, look. Listen.
We should call show
the only thing, and even he hasn't been hit in the last few weeks. For the majority of the season, the only thing on special teams that was consistent and that was good was Brandon McManus. Only thing. Sam Martin, as our punter, was hitting short. He was kicking short punts. Our kickoff and return coverage was abhorrent. Our punting and punt return coverage, abysmal.
Okay,
look,
so I will write a D.
Look,
EJ,
I give it an F. I give it an F. Literally,
EJ,
first.
Yes, EJ.
See,
it's definitely
KB82 says it's a Z.
EJ, it's definitely a quarterback. But honestly, EJ, I really don't see a quarterback worth the first round.
I don't either.
Thing.
I'm gonna now that we're over the hump of the middle of the season and it's getting close to the end of the college season because that's how it's unfortunately how it works. I'm gonna start watching a lot more tape. I'm gonna start watching a lot more tape. But here's the point. All right, so back to special teams because we are at an hour and 10 minutes right now. We usually go to an hour 20, so I want to roll this along.
So what do okay?
Boom, boom, boom. F for special teams. Look, right there. I'm gonna say the one play that I'm just gonna call on most recently that just absolutely shows how awful the special teams unit is. It's the Cowboys game. First play of the game, kickoff, Denver. Tony Pollard, running back Tony Pollard, fields the ball.
Huge.
And he literally almost a 50-yard jaunt down the field on the first play of the game. Like, it's kickoff. The clock hadn't even started ticking yet.
Okay. All right, Johnny. So I'm gonna high speed this because I already got it written down.
Boom, boom, boom. Now we're gonna go with
next one. Hold on, I got it, John. I already got it.
Right.
So the next one is tight end. How would you give the tight end group?
Tight end group, I'm gonna give a B-.
Why?
I'm gonna give them a B- because actually I'm gonna go ahead and move that up. I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna make it a B. I'm gonna make it a B.
Okay,
here's why. Noah Fant, unfortunately, has surprisingly not been what I was hoping for.
He's improved the last few weeks.
He's improved. It still doesn't look good, and he still can't block worth a damn.
Alberto's been great.
Alberto, on the other hand, he looks like a starting caliber tight end. He's making catches. He's making blocks. He's all over the field. And Eric Saubert, you know what? Came out of nowhere. Let go of undrafted free agent by Jacksonville. Came out of nowhere. He's catching passes. He's laying blocks. And I'll give, and then those two are making things happen. No offense, making things happen sometimes, but not what I would expect from our first round draft pick.
But you know what?
So I'm going to give him a B.
I gave him a C+ because they're playing good when they get the ball. But it's hard because a lot of this is play calling.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you guys, I haven't seen not one seam this season. Kansas City uses it.
Yep.
Tom Brady, when he has Rob Gronkowski, uses seams. We have a 6'5".
Because Teddy's afraid to throw into the seam.
So and he's
100%.
Moving forward. Wide receiver core, what's your grade?
Well, hold on, real quick. Avatar also gave the tight ends a B. Richie Rich gave them a B. So it seems like quite well across the board. Steve Stark up in here giving Fant an F and a B.
A B. Sherbert incomplete.
All right, that's fair.
X is basically
all right, now we gotta move on.
Wide
receiver core. So I'll go first on this one. Wide receiver core, A.
Okay.
I give him an A. Look, you cannot fault people. You cannot fault you cannot fault Cortland Sutton for not making as many catches because he hasn't been targeted as much. But when he does get targeted, for the most part, he comes down with the ball. Tim Patrick is easily the most reliable receiver in the NFL.
Jerry Judy's great.
He's awesome. Jerry Jeudy is the greatest route runner as far as a wide receiver goes. The only one that was up there with him was his teammate at Alabama, Henry Ruggs, and we all know where he's at right now.
Yeah.
So I would say
himself. He said C for
C for Saubert. So, I like it. All right.
I said A as well.
I give an A.
Running back.
No, hold on. Avatar gives our wide receiver core an A-.
A-. Okay.
So all right, I'll give him that.
Running back core?
Running back core, I'm gonna go ahead and give I'm gonna give them an A-.
Because when they don't fumble, they're legit.
Because when they don't fumble, those two are hitting hard.
They cannot be stopped.
Javonte Williams, real quick, I'm going to say this real fast. Javonte Williams, what needs to happen is he needs to start picking up. Now, he did, based on the latest stats, he's getting 5 yards per carry. That's pretty impressive for a rookie.
I gave him B+.
He needs to be, okay. So did Avatar. Avatar gave a B+.
Yeah, fumbles are big to me, so I appreciate
fumbles are huge. Here's the thing. When they're hitting. Javonte Williams pulls out those angry runs, brings that angry run scepter home to Denver
almost every week.
It's phenomenal. And at the same time, pulls off at least 5 yards of carry now. So is Melvin Gordon. The only issue I have is the fumbles.
That's it, because they're great receiving and running back. So moving on, O-line, I gave an A. 5th most time passing in the NFL. Holding calls have upticked this year from last year, but it's not as bad. We've had rotating guards, rotating tackles, and we're still top 5 in the NFL. And pass blocking, our run game is really good when they run. So I gave them an A. What do you say?
KB82 just gave Tim Patrick an A and every other receiver a B-.
I wouldn't say B-. I guess if you're averaging it out,
I could see a B.
No,
but I can see a B.
I think Cortland Sutton, when the ball's thrown his way, he's legit. When Jerry Jeudy's the ball's thrown his way, he's legit. KJ Hamler's out, and we haven't really seen any other receivers.
You know what?
Maybe Kendall Hinton.
But you can't forget Kendall Hinton. Kendall Hinton's been the surprise.
Kendall Hinton's been legit.
He's been legit.
I wouldn't be surprised if they let go Deontay Spencer and make Kendall Hinton the return guy. Just saying.
No, here we go again. Not so special teams F-.
What's your Johnny? What's your
for O-line?
Let us slow down.
O-line.
What's your O-line grade?
O-line B.
B.
Solid B. They've been better than last season as far as penalties, lack of penalties.
More depth. Our depth is better.
The center. I agree with Mundungus. What he said earlier. The center position is the weakest point.
Okay, so are we drafting a center? Or are we keeping?
I don't know yet. Who knows?
Slotman?
Remember that even though Quinn Miners is currently kicking butt as the right guard,
the right guard is his position. He's not moving.
But he could. He could.
You're gonna move Miners to center and put Muti at right guard?
I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him a B.
Hold on. You're gonna put Miners at center and put Muti at right guard?
Not necessarily.
I'm saying that's a.
You could bring other people in. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that, but I'm saying, how does that sound to you?
I don't know. If I had a choice, I'd keep Miners at right guard over Moody.
Thank you.
But the point is, we need a better center. Period. Lloyd Cushenberry is not, in my opinion, as of this moment, we've had 2 seasons with him. Lloyd Cushenberry is not the answer at center. He just isn't.
D-line. Right, so I gave him a C. The reason why is because there's some games where we get no pressure. Last game, we didn't even get a sack against Jalen Hurst. He didn't really kill us on the ground because he wasn't pressured that much. So there's some days
he killed us in the air as a result, but they also didn't get much pressure on him.
Yeah, like against Dallas, we're on it, and then against other games, we're not. I give him a C-. Actually, I changed that, C- because they're doing what they can. I think for the D-line, they're still trying to get their camaraderie down together. They don't have that. They don't know who's starting from week to week. I think they're still trying. What's your grade for the D-line?
D-line's a C. They're too like they haven't been hitting. They haven't been hitting the way that we need them to.
They're young.
A lot of guys got big contracts. Going into the season, Mike Purcell, Shelby Harris, they got their contracts, but we haven't been seeing out of them what I would hope to as a result of getting those contracts. I think
they're trying to build that camaraderie. They're just trying to get that communication. We've had a linebacker issue going in and out, injuries, different guys calling plays, different guys seeing different things, hitting you when you hit the hip of the D lineman, you might move him to the left. Instead, you should have moved him to the right. The communication is coming down. Stark says, you're probably right. My poor grades are more because of coaching, I think. Our win percentage is a 50 F. I agree with you because when I was grading the offense, it was hard. Like, for example, the tight ends, it was hard to grade because we don't throw seam routes. We don't target them, and then we don't target them in the red zone.
I want to roll the edge rush. I'm actually going to upgrade my C to a B minus. For the O line, because I'm rolling our edge rushers into that to save time.
Into what?
Into the D line.
You said O line.
Sorry, I meant D line. I want to upgrade my C to a B plus to a B minus for the D line because I want to roll our edge rush into that to save time.
I did.
Only because Jonathan. I'll stick with B minus. Because like Jonathan Cooper, Stephen Weatherly, these guys when they're not, and I'm going to say this, it's not just about getting the rush on the quarterback. Like Jonathan Cooper and Stephen Weatherly are both now doing a phenomenal job setting the edge. I'm
going to say C because our D-line is inconsistent. I'm going to say C.
Ooh, and KV brings it up. He said D-line is A one week, D the next. It's true.
So they're inconsistent, so I'm going to say C. All right. Secondary.
We need to go secondary. Well,
I'm going to give a C+.
Secondary. You really? No, yeah. I disagree.
You go B, but I say C+ because they get tore up by, for some reason, Vic Fangio does not know how to coach against running backs.
It all comes down to coaching, though. That's my point.
So we'll drop it. So the second half, he did a great job of switching from man to zone. He did a great job of that. He did a fantastic job of that. But when we need to blitz, he doesn't blitz. Avatar says C- again. I said C+ because when they're on it, Justin Simmons had his pick. Patrick Surtain is great in zone and man. We saw that yesterday.
Patrick Surtain is an A by himself. A by himself.
Ronald Darby's okay between Kyle Fuller, Bryce Callahan. I want to see Caden Stearns replace Kyle Fuller at the nickel and dime. I think that would be
cool.
Great.
Listen to you sound like Tony the Tiger up in here. They're great.
Okay.
Anyway,
last one.
No,
linebackers.
It's not the last one. Linebacker. It is not. Unfortunately, there's one more after that. Linebackers is. Ooh, this is hard. This is hard because it's kind of like the student that was out half the season, and then now now they're back, kind of feeling.
So who
Look,
are we grading?
It was rough.
Alexander Johnson and Joseph.
We're grading the position as a whole. We're grading the position as a whole. With averaging everything
a
out.
C.
Yeah, I agree. Because we were hitting hard when we had Josie Jewell and AJ Johnson on the field. They got hurt. We rotated a few guys around, and we were doing meh. Then we brought out Ben Brown and Kenny Young. They look great.
Appreciate you coming in.
We'll see you, Avatar. Take care. We're getting ready to get out of here too. As soon as we finish these grades, we're almost there.
Mahai salute and a cheer to you, Avatar. Always a pleasure. Thank you for coming in.
All right, we and cheers to you. I don't have any more beer, but I have a seltzer. So
weak.
Yeah, except that seltzer you're calling weak has 7% alcohol for volume. It's not weak.
It's not weak.
Shut up, Isaiah. You've come over here and drank this at my house.
I've never been to your house one time.
Lies, and you're wrong. Anyway, back to it.
Prove it.
I have pictures of you at my house.
That's
right now.
House.
Boom. Drop. Mic drop.
That's also true.
Anyway, so boom. Secondary. Sorry, linebackers. Inside linebackers. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna.
You already said C.
I'm gonna go C plus. C plus.
Okay.
Only because of what we've seen, and Baron Browning will be back after the bye. I guarantee it. Yeah. Baron Browning and Kenny Young together, phenomenal.
Honestly, let go just Mr. Nod. Keep Baron Browning.
We haven't seen enough.
Kenny Young and Alexander Johnson. Baron Browning a third down back.
Maybe.
Kenny Young and Alexander Johnson. It seems like Kenny Young is a younger Alexander Johnson.
Yeah.
A thumper, but he's good in pass coverage.
He's a thumper. All right. We got to move on. Last grade to give, and I guarantee we're going to hit this probably on the nose. Coaching.
Oh, that's an F. All right, guys. That's it. We finished it all. We all agree.
And I'm sure that everybody in the comments agrees coaching has been an F and will remain an F until the Fangio era ends in Denver.
Too inconsistent. F.
Not just too inconsistent, too stubborn. We've already talked about it. Too damn stubborn. They know that changes need to be made. They see that changes need to be made, and they refuse because they don't want to change anything. So, F for coaching. Now, we love you, Broncos country. Thank you, Joel, for joining us, running over the time just a little bit. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's been an absolute blast. As always, yes, here's to you guys. Cheers. We love you all very, very much.
Right, KB82, he is.
Yes. All right, here we go. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast on MHRT Network. We appreciate you stopping by and joining us. Please do not forget to catch our other shows. Tuesday, Broncos Talk, a 6'10" Mexican, and Richie Riche, our brother up in Canada, 7654 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Thursday, the MHRT podcast, the flagship, with Mundungus Creevy, the Broncos wizard, Glenn Mile High Fiber, or Glenn Metamucil Hauser. We're still trying to figure that one out.
I like Metamucil.
I like Metamucil too. Mr. Boggins and a 6'10" Mexican, 7654 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also, then do not forget that on game days, okay, we have my soundboard just died. I'm so sorry. We have the neighborhood. I know. Thank you, Isaiah. That was awesome. Anyway, now go clean up the field house. Anyway, the neighborhood. Our pregame show before every game about an hour. What?
Happy birthday, KB82.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Happy birthday, KB82. It was yesterday?
Yeah, he said yesterday.
Yep. Also, we want to wish.
Peace out.
No, real quick. We want to wish a very happy birthday to Mr. Boggins' fiance.
Happy birthday, Mr. Boggins' fiance.
Her name is Tatiana. She's 29 today.
Tatiana.
Happy birthday, Tatiana, from all of us at MHRT and here on Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. We hope it's a blast. If we know that your fiance was watching earlier, please don't beat him up for watching it on your birthday.
KB82. Now, happy birthday. That's a big, important number. I honestly didn't know you were that old.
I didn't think so either, but hey, hey, brother.
So keep doing what you're doing. Keep it up. Thank you for your service. You
Absolutely.
did a great job. You're always there. You're there for every Broncos podcast.
Happy birthday to you. Anyway, back to it real quick, okay?
Happy birthday,
Do
Gary,
not miss. Would you said it like 5 times now? He's gonna have a very happy birthday. I'm just kidding.
I don't know if he heard me.
He heard you. I guarantee you. I guarantee he heard you. Thank you for joining us. Please do not miss The Neighborhood. Okay, that's our pregame show. We will go live again next week and about an hour and a half before the Chargers game. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, and punch that notification bell so you know when we're live so you can join us, especially because that's the best way to know when we go live on The Neighborhood.
Ding!
Now,
That's it.
yeah, that's terrible. Anyway, also, this Thursday, it's Thanksgiving Day.
Is it?
We will not, yes, it is, and we will not be having MHRT podcast this Thursday.
Boo.
All right? We're gonna give everybody the day off for Thanksgiving to get fat and enjoy themselves. So please do not forget to, after you have Broncos Talk on Tuesday, to join back up with us on Friday for Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. All right, we love you all.
Friday.
Do not forget also that we have all of our audio or all of our podcasts in audio form everywhere where you find your favorite podcast, be it iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, any of those. You'll find it there, I promise you. We love you, Broncos country. We love you, NRW crew. We love you, MHRT family. Let's prepare to do the mile high five and get out of here. Here we go. Arms out to your sides and mile high five. Woo! Thank you so much, NRW crew and Broncos country. We will see you next week. We love you. Go Broncos.